All right, Wayne Bettis here, the founder of the Off the Tools podcast. I just want to introduce you to our brand new sponsor, directplumbing.supplies.com. It is founded by a former tradesman who has set up his own plumbing and heating merchants. He has an online shop, which is obviously at directplumbing.supplies.com, and he delivers across the UK. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show. Hello, welcome to yet another trade spotlight on the Trades Growth Summit. Today, I would love to introduce the director of the Commercia Group, Paul Hull. How are you doing, Paul?
Good, Wayne. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
No, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out, to hopefully share a bit of your history and learn some lessons, from that journey. So for those that don't know who you are, could you give us a little bit of an introduction of where you've come from?
Well, yes, I say, my name's Paul Hull. I'm 51 and a half. Grew up in West London. Started plumbing when I started working in a plumbing shop when I was 13. And the guy who owned that shop and the plumbing company I'd done my apprenticeship for. So I've never actually had a job interview or filled out a job application form. Right? It's the only thing I've ever done. It's the only thing I know. And now I've been in the industry for 35 years. In 2016, I started a non-for-profit organisation called the Gas Safety Superheroes. I'm the campaign director for that to raise awareness and improve standards in our industry.
Wow. So with the superheroes, what where did that come from? What got you involved in that?
Well, what it really was is just I tried to do something some years before, just to raise awareness during Gas Safety Week from an installer's point of view. And then I got together with 3 others at the time, and we formed the Gas Safety Superheroes. And it just really, we didn't realise how it was going to take off. We'd done it for a week over social media, and it went absolutely bananas, to be honest with you. It was amazing. And then after that week, we thought, well, what are we going to do now, sort of thing. So, yeah, because we didn't have a plan, we didn't have a website, we didn't have like a Twitter address, or anything. So, and then we just started campaigning, and lucky enough, in 2017, I spoke at Parliament in at the launch of the Gas Safe Week. I got invited by Gas Safe, who we have a very good relationship with, by the way. And we just try and put the installer's point of view and raise standards and awareness and the good side of our industry. And we promote good work and positive work. We want installers to be positive and show that if they do a great install, let's get the photographs out there. Let's get some positivity and the worth of our industry.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. And so where can people find out more about that while we're talking about it? I might as well plug.
Yeah, just search Gas Safety Superheroes on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. We've got a presence there. Also, we've got a website. There's a lot of infographics on there, which we encourage installers to download and show their customers why they're doing something and what separates them, why they're charging more money than because they're doing something properly. And if another company not doing this, well, maybe they shouldn't be working in their home. It's all about trying to get the worth back into our industry.
Oh, no, so it's a fantastic cause. So let's go back a few steps here, though. Yeah. Let's go back to, obviously, I'm guessing you're a Gas Safe registered engineer.
Yes.
You mentioned that you did an apprenticeship from a very young age. So what was the early part of learning the career like? Where did you go to college? Tell us a little bit about that and how it progressed.
When I went to school in West London, as I said, I have dyslexia. Obviously, in them days, it wasn't really diagnosed or any help. So I really struggled at school. To be honest, I didn't like being at school. I didn't like it at all. So half the time I didn't go, right? Because obviously I was struggling in classes and stuff. Mm-hmm. Obviously, then I got myself like a set. Well, in them days, it's called a Saturday pup job. I was going working in a plumbing shop, learn the name of the fittings, and it sort of changed my life really. And then the guys that owned that company, Ray and Peter Strong, like they really sort of changed my path in life really. So then I worked there Saturdays, and then done it for 2.5 years. I went to Richmond upon Thames College, done 4-year apprenticeship. which was, I got to say, it was hard because I had to get 2 buses while I used to live in Hayes, Middlesex, to get over to Richmond. It was a bit of a journey at times. And but I really enjoyed it. And I wouldn't say I don't know, can I say excel? I don't know, but it just complete different mindset. And I actually liked being there because I was doing something I liked. Yeah. And then it's sort of like coming to that. I actually won the London South East Engineering Award for Best Apprenticeship in London in 1990.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which is, I don't know. I didn't even know they'd even entered me for it at that time. And I got the grand total of a pen and £25 check. Which I suppose, I know, I was probably only earn about 150 quid a week or something then, which still wasn't bad, was it? And then I just sort of, I worked for a company called Max Cohen Hayes, and we done a lot of commercial and domestic work. And it's a really good company to work for because they used to do lead work, cast iron drainage, big heating systems, boiler swaps, bathrooms, high-end. We done everything in the plumbing and the heating world. That company did, welding, everything. I done everything. So it was a great company to do apprenticeship for. And I learned a lot there. But obviously, it then comes a time where you think, well, what am I going to do here? Am I just going to stay here for the rest of my life? Which some people have. I've worked with some of my apprentices, they're still in that company. But I just sort of had that drive. I don't know why, but I just had that drive. I wanted to go and work for myself. So I'd done that for quite a number of years, being self-employed, being a sole trader, the ups and downs of it, struggling. Because when you first start off, it's all brilliant because you're not really doing any tax or any invoicing, payroll, you're not doing anything, are you? You're just like a rudderless ship, really. And you're in the water and I think you know what I'm talking about. Right? You just go, don't you? Like you're just smashing boilers out and doing bathroom suites and you're not really paying much attention to your tax. And all of a sudden, I think it's sort of like when you get to like year 3 or 4, things start to because you haven't done certain things, you haven't put processes in place. And it's really hard. I mean, it was different then because you really had to have an accountant. We did have access to computers, but there's none of these apps or anything that were around nowadays. And then people get themselves in a real mess, and I got myself in a real mess. But that was probably about like around I'll say about around 2000, where things just get right on top, and then you just realise like you're just completely drowning.
Out your depth, so to speak.
You are completely, because the thing is when you're at college, like, and obviously I wasn't great at school, is you don't get any business help or business sense. And I really think personally, if you're ever going to start a business up now, it should be mandatory to go on a course about what you're actually taking on. Because my saying now is no job's done until the paperwork's done.
Yeah.
Right? And it's very easy. We've done anything. Like you bang the boiler on the wall, you've done your safety checks, you go home and you don't do the invoice. Yeah, or whatever. And then you mount out, and the Monday morning comes, you've got to go somewhere else. And then it gets very, 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 like, you have to be very, very regimented, especially if you're a sole trader. It can be a real lonely place. Now, especially like you've got a young family and all the other strains of that going on. And like, I think there was I see somewhere that there's a thing that a lot of the sole traders do suffer with depression. Like it just gets to you, yeah, and it just affects everything, your home life. So one of the ways I sort of be here is to try and help people never to get in the place that I was. So what I would say is what you've got to remember now is that whenever if you're going to start a new business, and good luck if anybody watching is just about to do that, 30% that goes in your company, just put it to one side. Just pull it to one side, yeah. And you should always be okay then. But it's very hard because like money comes in, money goes out, money comes in, money goes out.
And it's that I remember, like back when I first started, that my biggest problem was I didn't have any business acumen. Yeah, didn't have a clue. And to be fair, I did start putting money away, but as that pot grew, I thought I kept looking at it like that's a new car, that's a holiday, that's a nice new shiny drill or whatever it might be, and I had no discipline with it.
And the temptation's too much, isn't it? It's there, isn't it? Like you can cut the grand, you think like, oh, okay, yeah, try and get this Hilti jewel with the car or the holiday, and you wish you probably deserved, didn't it? But it just, I And one of the sort of steps I say now to people is, first thing, don't ever underestimate your worth. Yeah, because you've got to remember, like, you spent the time at college and you've done your exams, you've done your ACS or off-tech or whatever your qualifications are. That is a lot of qualifications and time you have spent, and also you've got your skill set, haven't you? So don't ever underestimate your actual worth to what you can do for people. That's the first thing I'd ever say to anybody. Because you've got to remember, like, you've got to have and also you've got to have a bit of confidence in yourself to believe that you can produce work at highest quality. And I know it's an old saying, but you are only ever as good as your last job, right? And if you think things are slipping, you need to like bring it in quick. And then, and also, as I said about paperwork, is nowadays there's lots of help. Yeah, there's lots and lots of apps and accounting apps and everything like that. But and it does make me laugh when I see on certain Facebook groups, "Oh, lads, I've done this. Yeah, what do you think I could claim for?" And I just say, I'll be speaking to an accountant, not a load of other gas engineers about their advice, because then would you go and see an accountant for some advice about your gas bill? No, you wouldn't, would you? Right? So that's the second thing I'll say to everybody, is get professional help from day one. Yeah, you can have all these apps as much as you like in the end of the day, and some of them are really good and some of them are really bad. Yeah, get a recommendation from an accountant. Yeah, and then as you start to grow, there always seems to be people that you will happen. People will owe you money. Yeah, and you need to be on top of that, checking who's paid you, who hasn't paid you, why they haven't paid you. Like, and there might be a quality issue, or there might be they're not happy with it, and address those. You should never put your head in the sand, because everybody has problems. Everybody, yeah. And you only got to go now because now with online reviewing and that, and there will always be some nice person give you a real negative view. And a lot of time it could just be down to communication. So I said, if you do have any problems, address them immediately. One, you feel better to it, and two, you're probably going to get paid. Yeah. So, and it just goes on, and then when you grow as a company, and it's that hard thing of letting go of certain things. Yeah. So obviously, because it's your baby and it's yours, isn't it? You're personally involved in it. It's yours, isn't it? Yeah. You started it. Why should I give some of it to somebody else to do? And I just say is if you're not good at anything, don't do it. Like, so if somebody said to me, "Paul, I need a brick wall built," I wouldn't let him to do it. I go and get a bricklayer and tell him to build a wall for me. Yeah. And that's exactly the analogy I use, is why would you spend hours trying to sort out your paperwork if you're no good at it? So a lot of people, they might bring their mum or their wives or girlfriends or their partners or whatever in their company. That's great if they're good at it, but only if they're good at it. Because it will pay you. If you pay somebody else who's good at it, it will earn you money. And it's all the stress of it. Because nobody wants to be sitting in their conservatories on a Sunday afternoon sorting all these receipts out. We should be out with your kids.
Oh, Paul, I remember, again, the lessons you learn when you're first starting they're so similar. Do you know, when you speak to other people, partly why I do what I do now with Off the Tools. But I remember I used to have this folder, right? And I thought I was all organised and I'd keep it on. Month 1 would go by, then month 2 would go by. And like by month 3 or 4, I hadn't bothered to sort them. I've got piles of paperwork and I'd have to sit there on a Sunday night, stressing myself out, not knowing what I'm meant to actually be doing. And the amount of pressure it put on me. But then the minute I got an accountant and a bookkeeper, that just disappeared. Yeah, you have to keep an eye on it. Of course you do. But yeah, getting people to do what they're good at and what they're professional at is fundamental, isn't it?
Oh, well, I couldn't agree with it any more than that. It's just that you just couldn't, like, the pressure it puts on people, right? And I always go back to when I was in my white Vauxhall Astra van, yeah. And I just have a seat, and you can never see the seat because it just have paperwork comes up with it. Yeah, never really anybody ever get in the van. But how embarrassing, do you know what I mean? And you think, well, and if I'm running a business from like the spare seat in my van, like, and then like what I've done is I actually built a little shed office in the back of the garden. I know lots of people do it nowadays. Bought a shed, insulated it, and turned it into a little office. And I was just still around, and then I used to have a woman who come in once a week. She just did me like 4 or 5. She's like working mum. She'd often drop her kids. Just come one day a week, and it just things that started to change. And she's like, "Oh, you haven't done this," and I went, "Okay." She said, "Well, if you don't do it by such and such day, you are going to get fined from the Inland Revenue because you haven't done your CIS return or whatever it is." Yeah. And sometimes these returns could be nil returns, but it's still got to be farmed. And it just sort of changed. And I sort of worked out that year she'd made me money out of fines I didn't get. Which is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And even though it's just like parking tickets, isn't it? Sometimes we all get parking tickets, especially like working in major cities. You're going to get them. It's part of parcel, yeah. But if you pay them on time, it's 50% less. Like, especially you might only have 14 days to do it, and sometimes you just forget. Or It's just things like that, and it's like processes. So they're like, and because the hardest thing is you're always chasing the next job, aren't you? You've done that job, you've got to get the next job. Where are you going to get your leads for your next job? And obviously, it's a bit different when I started because Facebook and internet wasn't really around for that type of thing. So it's local advertising. I used to even do shop windows at one time. Like, people think that's pretty absolutely crazy, but to be honest, I used to get a lot of work out of just some of my local shops. And that person, they're local, aren't they? Sometimes somebody wants a local person. No, it's different now because you do like Facebook targeting, advertising and stuff like that. But like, it's just really strange. I just think about how all the mistakes I made in the past and how much money it cost me and how much stress and relationships and breakdown and that sort of stuff. Well, like, if I just took some simple steps when I started, I never got myself in that mess. But like, I mean, or the thing of hindsight, isn't it, Wayne? Do you know? Do you want to get in that little TARDIS and jump back a bit? But and then it's hard, isn't it? And I just think that I know I'm an employer now. I wouldn't really want my lads to go and get business advice at college because they'd leave me. But I do think there should be something out there for people who are going to go somewhere. They should have to go and do something, just so they're fully aware. And there's help it can be put in place, isn't there? Then
100% on this, and it's. I think some of it is the responsibility being explained. Like, look, this is what you're taking on. When you leave that employer and you leave that pension and you leave that salary coming in, these are the realities of life. You're going to have no money. Sometimes you're going to have tax bills that you're responsible to pay, and you're going to have VAT. Like a real, again, like I say, it's part of what drove me to start Off the Tools was to get these people, get the knowledge in front of people that might need it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing was what I find, especially when I go like to the trade shows and like the reasons up the story show. I got to speak to a guy from he was from Stevenage, I can't think of his name for me. And it would just he's like 2 years. And how it's going? I was going really, really well. Well, okay, that's interesting. That's it. Oh, I've never had so much money. And I was going, whoa, stop. I said, you stand like maybe from 30 years ago now, yeah? And I just sort of said, look, have you got 5 minutes? He went, yeah. So I went over and we were calling me out a beer and I just had a chat. So, are you doing this? He went, no. Are you doing that? No. And I just for everything, he was making all the same mistakes that I made. And he's now sent me a really nice email, actually, saying, yeah, I just got myself an account and I'm doing this and doing that. And I think by the sound of it, you've really helped me out. So, like, it's quite simple, mate. Yeah, but it's just, I think he got where we've been working for a company, but so excited. He's got all this work and he had all this money. And I think that, and I thought just like deja vu yet again. And I just think, but I think everybody who's run a business at time will have troubles. And one of the things I would say to anybody who does get into trouble, is don't hide. Yeah. Don't hide. Right. And I know the hardest lesson you're going to have to say to yourself, for whatever reason, I'm in trouble. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, you've got loads of work on. But you're financially, because the bills haven't come in, or you've been late invoicing, or you've been bad at doing your books, problems will come along. And what I would say to anybody, if you're getting yourself into that whirlwind, is to stop. is literally to stop what you're doing and sort it out. If you carry on doing what you're doing, you will sink. Trust me, you will sink. Yeah, and a lot of people do. Yeah. So I had this in my life. I had some major problems, and I was really on the brink of going bankrupt at one time. And then, I got to say, it was the most horrific time in my life, Wayne. I got to say it, mate. Yeah, it really was, yeah. And I was given a chance. I've got introduced to this lady who's now my business partner now. And she just said, she believed in me. And she said, look, you go to work, you do what they, I would take the paperwork, I would sort it out. And that's sort of like, obviously that's quite a few years ago now. But obviously without her help and somebody helping you and admitting I had the problem, I would have sunk. And I'd done all that hard work and all those great, amazing jobs. And what would it have been for? If nothing, wouldn't it, really? What's nice pictures on social media of some shiny boilers on the wall, and it doesn't pay your mortgage, does it?
No, certainly don't.
No. So, that's what I was saying to anybody. Like, anybody can get in a mess. And if you do put your head in the sand being ostrich, it will come along and bite you.
Yeah, accepting it and owning it, taking ownership of it, good or bad, it's got to be dealt with, isn't it? It's got to be dealt with.
It's really, and also, like, I have this little bonus that I find it difficult to put stuff on paperwork. Like, so, like my best invention in the last 10 years has been Siri. Yeah, like, because I can actually spell now. and it's hard. Like, and sometimes I can read something and people say, no, Paul, that doesn't actually say that, and I'd have to read it 3 or 4 times. And when you're dealing like with the Inland Revenue and you're trying to speak to them on the phone, and it just ties you up in knots at times. You never ever speak to the same person again. Yeah. And then you do something, and then 2 days later you get another nasty letter come through, which has obviously been generated by the computer before your chat, and it can get really, really stressful. I know lots of people out there probably recognise what I'm saying about, but it's just, and I just don't want to see people go through what I went through. Really, just, and I keep saying it, but simple processes. I know you have like some amazing speakers on there and that, but I just say it's just simple processes at the start. Well, you can implement any time in your business, but stick by them. That is the thing, yeah. So now, like nowadays, we've got like a work app, so all the lads log into the work app every day. We've got all this information, so you can't have enough information down on so they like take photographs, they take what they've done for the work. And it does pay. So I'll tell you a little story, and this is pretty amazing, actually. So we done a job. It was a leak coming through somebody's ceiling. It was coming from the flat above. It's their shower tray, right? And like these sort of modern buildings where they all plasterboard and metal starred and not built that well. And the shower had been put straight onto normal plasterboard. The mastic leaked straight through the plasterboard, faked through the ceiling, the flat below, done loads of damage. 18 months later, they come back to us saying that we damaged the bath in the flat below.
Right.
And I didn't know what to say. Anyway, so I actually went back through all the work notes, and there was a picture of the bath in the background of the work notes. Clearly, where this chip was on the bath now, it wasn't there when we were there. And we just sent in the picture, and that was the end of that. They were just trying it on, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They wanted a new bathroom suite out of us 18 months later. And then it was a lockdown and this, that, and the other. Yeah, okay, whatever. Right. But just saying, that's a process we put in place that saved us a load of heartache. Literally within like 2 hours of that email dropping in our box, we got into our folders, looked for the job, found the photograph, and sent it straight back.
Yeah.
Completely closed it. And then that app's like, it's like £10 a man a month.
What system is it that you use?
Well, we was using something called T-Sheets at the time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we was using that one, yeah. We literally last week, changed to SimPro.
Oh, you've gone on to SimPro. I think we've got SimPro as guests on the Trades Growth Summit as well. So
yeah. I mean, we literally just started. We had last Monday. We had like an on-Zoom meeting. But what we've done with that SimPro, we've gone through the whole package. We put in all the CRM system on there, the invoicing system. Everything's going over to that because again, is this what happens when we grow a company? We have like one system for CRM, timesheets, invoicing, and you have all these different packages, and none of it links across.
Yeah.
And again, it didn't really affect me. It's the girls in the office. It was causing nightmares too, because I couldn't copy something out of one system and put it in the next system to invoice it. So they literally had to type it out, which obviously is very time consuming. But no, that Simpro stuff is really good. So, but no, it's like anything. It's new. It's going to take a bit of time. What it does, though, if the engineer, he or she, doesn't close down the job, it flags it up in red, and on the desktop it flags it, so it needs to be actioned, which is actually really good. And again, you can load of photographs out to it and write notes. And I just say I recommend anybody to get, not just advertising that one, but anybody to get a system like that, even if they're a sole trader, because it's there. If you have any problems, well, you know what, we can use it now on that one. We can go to previous jobs. So we can say we get called out to the same building more than twice. We can go back and look, say, oh, well, Scott was here 2 months ago. He reset the boiler and the pump was jammed and we freed it. Now the pump's jammed again. So we're like, I need a new pump. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just tells you, or like we do it like for door codes, or like something like, oh, the valve for the boilers is behind the painting in the hallway. It took me 2 hours to find it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? As we do with these lovely builders think they box everything in nowadays, it was under the box, you know, and it's just like building up a bit of a network of all our jobs and again, it just helps with the day-to-day running of the company. And it's just like, it's in the phone, isn't it? So, but I'd recommend anybody to get like time apps are definitely great. Because I know that T-Sheets, which I think it's now called Time because it's owned by QuickBooks, I think. You can actually link that into your accounting packages as well if you want to. So I think you can invoice straight out.
I'm a firm believer in software. You know, I've been using. I've used. You know, Simpro. I've seen it. It's for me. It's for a bigger company. Do you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't go with it. I've been with Commusoft, ServiceMate, you've got Gas Engineer Software, Powered Now, Traderify. There's loads out there now. There's no excuse to not be on a software now, is there? 15 years ago, you know, you had to have thousands of pounds and money coming at you, but now you don't. You know, you're talking low figures a month, aren't you, for these softwares? For some of them, anyway.
My good old friends at Taco French, local merchant, someone sends me a leather binder diary of you, which I do use still, yeah. But that's how you was. Every day I was to try and write in my pigeon English, like what I was doing. And someone thought, well, I can't really read that. What did I mean? Because I'm my dyslexia. But it was, as you say, there is no excuse not to be on an app or something, yeah. And then use it and then back it up and it will pay, definitely. It's definitely, that's the minimum thing I say to anybody to do is that. And I mean, obviously, and also obviously because we have engineers working on their own, so we do have this issue of lone working at times. So obviously with that app, with any app, we can see where they was at a certain time. We're trying to call them and they're not answering their phone. Or worst case, I know.
Yeah, you've got a bit of safety. Yeah.
Where they are. Like, and if they, so what we do, I'll ring the guys twice. If they don't answer, I will go there. After time, I find they're in the cafe and haven't bothered calling me back. Then we have a bit of discussion. Yeah. But that's what you've got to implement something, and that's what we've done. So that's one of the other reasons.
So your business right now, then, what's it looking like? How many guys and girls you got?
There's 5 of us at the moment. We have a couple of subcontractors who come and go from time to time. But I mean, like everybody, I'm looking for more engineers, which is I'm sorry, I rephrase that. I'm looking for more good engineers.
Yeah, good change of phrase there.
That can get out of bed. Yeah, I don't mind not being home at 5 o'clock. And then it's difficult. It is very difficult. But what we're trying to do is obviously, and obviously, as I say to anybody, like if you go into these jobs, all these customers are my customers. They all know me personally. I mean, we do have new clients come along every now and then. Like recently, we picked up some work at London Zoo, That's great, yeah, great place to work. But the majority of these people I've known like for 20 plus years, so they know me. So it's and I say, like, even when you're going to these jobs, you're representing me, because like, these people know me. So and I do take it a bit personally when they leave, like thinking for like 30 or something, or not done something properly, and then normally them guys don't last very long. But I like to think we've run quite a happy ship, and most of the guys have been with me for a number of years now. We just started on. We've got a new apprentice. Big believer in apprenticeships. It's very important to have new blood in this industry, because there is a massive shortage of skilled engineers. Massive shortage, and it's going to get worse, especially with like the low carbon heating coming in. I nearly said the H word, heat pump. Yeah. Whatever happens, mate. I mean, who knows? I mean, I think what we do know is something's got to change, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The business that change and early adopters will do well, and people that fight it won't do so well, will they? But something's got to change. I mean, there isn't a magic wand. I don't think anybody's actually got the real answer at the moment. So for the business, it's quite difficult. Which way do you turn? Do you upskill the guys, and do you go and see one of these courses? And I think we do need a bit of direction from.
Yeah, see, I'm sat on that fence, and I feel like I've been sat on it for too long, but I just can't. You know, like, I keep looking at hydrogen and thinking, surely practically that is, but then I speak to experts and they're like, yeah, maybe not. And then you're looking at heat pumps, and it's like, yeah, okay, that can serve a small portion of people, but can it serve the masses? Do you know, can it serve the terraced houses, do you know, in the estates and that? No, it can't, can it? There's not.
Well, I mean, that's a whole new topic on its own. But, I mean, like, you're not going to get a heat pump in a 4th floor flat in Walthamstow, are you?
No.
So something's got to happen, isn't it? So, I mean, I think there might be a move back to district heating systems.
Yeah.
In these big social blocks and stuff like that, which we do a lot of that type of work anyway. So, and it's difficult. I mean, and as a business, you think, like, do we upgrade the website? Do we put a section in there? But to be honest, I think the actual interest is very minimal at the moment. And we've had actually calls into the office. I think we've had one actual call for somebody for asking for a heat pump, and one went around their place it wasn't really suited to it. Yeah, but they had to spend a lot of money to upgrading it, and then it's difficult. And then you get. I've had this discussion, well, even from my old parents, yeah, and. That's how the board needs to change. Do we have to have a heat pump? Well, no, and there is a lot of disinformation out there. There seems to be some of the older generation seems to be a bit confused by some of like the lovely reporting from the BBC and stuff like that.
This is the problem, isn't it? The older generation believe what they hear. You know, they believe the newspapers, they believe the news, whereas I suppose, you know, the more internet savvy age group are a little bit more skeptical, and we take everything with a pinch of salt, don't we?
Well, yeah, and it's difficult because people hear stuff, don't they? And also I've got to say to people, you can't believe everything you read on the internet either. Because nobody believes that at all. But it's difficult. You think, as kids sort of come back from a business point of view, and it's very difficult at the moment knowing what to do. And obviously, I'm fortunate because obviously I sit on some committees and I've got a little bit more of an inside track than some other people have got. Yeah, but it's difficult because nobody really knows. I know we had this big announced last week about this £5,000 grant and this, but that grant's not actually available yet. It's not available to. I haven't actually been given a date, but it's going to be springtime. Yeah, at the earliest, and you're going to have to be MCS registered to qualify for the grant. So they're going to put another strain on
and it's only available to 90,000 homes. So in the scheme of it, I think there was like 1.8 million boilers sold last year. So 90,000 is not for the vast 98% of people. They're not even going to notice that there's a heat pump incentive going on, is there?
No, and I think maybe it was a bit of lip service personally. That's my personal view, but
yeah, I think I'd probably agree with you on that one.
I mean, I was to say is that at the moment in time there's going to be the biggest changes in the next 10, 20 years, and it's just going to be a bit like obviously before my time. before anybody says anything, when town gas got converted to North Sea gas. Yeah. So my dad's a retired gas engineer, and obviously he remembers them days fondly because them guys made an absolute fortune in overtime. Yeah. I think helped my dad buy his house, you know what I mean? But it's going to be the biggest changes, whatever happens in this industry, yeah.
But with change is opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I just think like people need to keep a broad mind, yeah, and don't believe the lobbyists, and don't believe everything on Twitter, and don't believe everything you read, yeah. And obviously there's going to be certain organisations going to protect their worth, aren't they? Because obviously the boiler manufacturers want to protect their investments and their network, and obviously the heat pump people want to try and do it. I'm going to try and do the same. So you've got to be very careful. I just sort of like read everything you can and go somewhere in the middle of it all, and you probably won't go far too wrong on a fault. Yeah, but it's interesting. It's interesting. The thing is that I just find some of the arguments absolutely ridiculous. I just sit there laughing sometimes in the evening. She goes, "What are you laughing at?" And I say something. I was about boilers again or something. And I went, yeah, okay, guilty. You know, I thought better put the phone down and be part of the family again, type of thing. So else I want to add is family time is important. And I've been guilty of it a lot in the past, where I've said, because of some financial issues I had, and that is I literally forgot my family. And I'm going to be honest here, and I have done at times, yeah. And it doesn't make you feel great, yeah. You do miss your family, and it's a real hard thing when you realise what you've done, yeah. And because you do need a bit of me time, Wayne. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have that time away, and it is important. And you feel better for it, and you work better. Yeah. Well, this is my personal opinion. You work better nowadays from it, yeah.
100%. But I don't know how much about me that you know of, Paul. No. I have this philosophy that I call the 3 Bs, right? Okay. It's what I coach my clients, you know, as a business coach. And the 3 Bs, they stand for body, which is you as a person, your mindset, your beliefs, your health, your fitness, everything to do with you as an individual. The second B is business, like income, you know, what brings in the money and the moolah. And then most importantly, the third one is balance, which is friends, family, loved ones, social, you know. And I've got this brilliant image. I won't be able to bring it. I won't bring it up. But basically, it's a triangle, and each flank is one of the B's: body, business, and balance. Right, yeah. And a triangle is the strongest structure. You know, you can't break it unless one side's weak. If one side's weak, you know, it crumbles like a stack of matches. And it's so important to me. I'm actually writing a book on this just separately. That you level up. You monitor. First of all, you need to keep an eye on all 3 areas, because what's the point? I'll ask you now, Paul. Sounds like you've been there. What's the point of having a multi-million-pound business, right? If your family and kids hate you, or you don't see them, or your health is falling down the pit, but you can flip it. What's the point of having a super fit body if you can't put food on the table? Yeah, you have to find that equilibrium between the 3 Bs.
No, I completely agree with that. And I've put each one of them times way the other side out too much, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I met somebody and he said, I can't remember the book. I think it might call it 7 Paths to Successful Business or something. Yeah. And one of the last paths is that you get others to do something that you're no good at. Yeah. So nowadays, somebody ring myself, Paul, we got an invoice. We got a query about the invoice. Go, no point speaking to me. I said, I haven't even seen the invoice. And they go, what? Because I haven't even seen it. So they need to speak to the office. There's something about the work or I'm the man, but if there's anything like that, it's a ring them. It's like, and I don't even bother myself with it. I might say, at the end of the day, James called me, there's an issue because, I sold it out. He didn't understand the parking charges or something like that. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? And I try not to busy myself and stuff that I don't need to do. So obviously my thing is obviously there.
That's a powerful skill, you know, and if people can harness that, it liberates a lot of time and pressure, doesn't it?
So problems, definitely, because the problem with a lot of stuff we do, it can be reactive. I can literally get a call now, and for the right client, I can go anywhere in the UK. It'd be normally because they've got a big, massive problem. And then you'll probably see some pictures on Twitter and tomorrow putting like a temporary boiler in somewhere or something. Yeah, right. But some was then called a few years ago. It was a Sunday night, and a guy called me. Goes, "Oh, all right, Paul." Goes, and I ain't spoke to this guy for about 3 years. Goes, "Oh, okay, mate. Yeah, what's wrong?" "No, don't be like that." I go, "No, well, what's wrong?" Goes, "Oh, you're not anywhere near Weymouth tomorrow." Funny enough, no. Yeah. And I literally was actually down in Portland. They had a biomass boiler that caught fire.
Oh,
yeah, and it was a proper mess down there. So yeah, so I was like, he said, like, "What's it going to cost me to get you down there tomorrow morning?" I went, "What?" I don't know if I can get there. He said, "I need you. I really need you." I went, "Okay, all right, I'll be down there." Like, I went down. It's about 30 odd homes had no heating, no hot water, so we had to sort something out, didn't we? And I mean, that's how reactive we can be at times, which can make. And what I'm trying to get to about the story is can make things very hard to plan, because then all your plans are gone out the window. Like, "Oh no, I'm supposed to take my daughter to dancing on the Tuesday, and I won't be, because I'll be stuck in miles and miles of home." And it's the impact it can come across on everything. You've got to be very careful at times. And when you try to start a new business, I keep going back to that. It's because I want people to make mistakes. You can get blinkered by, "Oh, we're going to earn thousands of pounds out of this job," and blah, blah. And then getting back to your triangle. Now, my triangle's completely collapsed there, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's completely collapsed. So it's I mean, these projects are great to get involved in. But, I mean, you're miles away from home, and it can be, and it does put, but my kids don't live with me, yeah? So the time I do see with them, it's quite minimal anyway. Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. I just thought I'd quickly bring that up. Yeah. And the first step to this is just keeping an eye on the free areas. So at least if you notice that you're putting too much pressure or too much attention on one of the areas, it gives you the ability to shift, doesn't it? And put some focus back where it needs to be. Yeah. Very, very. It's funny because you basically nailed it. You said what the freebies were before I even showed you. Because it's fundamental, and it's easy for us to sit here, right? We've got years of experience behind us, but there's a whole trail of people that haven't had these experiences yet. If we can just help a handful of them, miss a few of these painful years, it's worth it, isn't it?
And it's cost me tens of thousands of pounds.
Yep.
Yeah, it literally has. Yeah, right. And you think that's absolutely like mental, right? But I just sort of learned by mistake. Sometimes I made the same mistake twice. Yeah, right? I mean, I'm an idiot. Yeah, right. And I sort of I've got this little office now. I sit here thinking about it, and I just think sometimes I don't even recognise myself from back then. And I find it a bit hard. Was I that person? And I met somebody again at install, and he went, "I can't believe how much you changed in the last 8 years." He said, "You were a complete nut job." It's nice to see pictures of you putting boilers in at 10 o'clock at night. I said, "Yeah, I know how to do it." Yeah, just to earn the next bit of money, and it's like buying your house and doing an extension. But it just completely wore me out and ruined my relationships and stuff like that. And you upset your kids, you don't see them, and it's horrible. It really is. And you get caught in this whirlwind, I keep saying. I was having letters from in revenue and all this sort of stuff. And until you stop, as I say, anybody gets yourself in that mess, please stop and go and get help. That's the most important thing you could ever do. It'd be the best thing you've ever done in your life. Because if you get in that spiral, and we've seen it, and some people they can't handle it, and then they go and do something silly, and it affects the rest of the family and their friends. I had somebody done that, yeah. And it was all over a business thing, which if you've actually asked for help, it probably could have been sorted out. It would have been sorted out.
Yeah. There's so much support for small businesses out there if you look for it, if you know it's there.
You've got to go early, though.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as you realise you're struggling, or you're going to admit it to yourself that you're struggling, go and get help. I've got to say, when I went to my bank, that wasn't that great, I've got to say. Yeah, all those... There's other ways and support networks, and there's certain Facebook groups nowadays. And it's like being honest with your family as well. Speak to your kids. Say, look, we ain't going to Spain this year because of Dad's had problems with the business, or you know what I mean. And they will understand. They will understand. You might feel horrible at the time, yeah, But like, it's better than that than having no dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is a very valid story here. Francis, the co-founder of the Trades Growth Summit, put a post out last night on one of his Facebook channels that said, "What's your biggest fear?" And so many people put failure as that's their biggest fear. And for me, it was quite, I suppose it's my mentality, but I'm not scared of failure. Because I see, what I'm trying to say is I failed. I lost my business, nearly lost my family. But since then, I've just, failure is part of the journey. And if you fail fast and you learn the lessons from it, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
But it is part of human nature. You will fail at something along the way. Yeah. It will just happen. There's very, very few people go through life. Look at the top businessmen in the world. They've all failed. They've all probably, most of them gone bankrupt at a point in their moment in time. Yeah, and they've all failed at something. Yeah, I think it's like the guy, I can't remember his name. The guy who invented the Black and Decker workmate. Yeah, I mean, back in the 80s, pretty much. But he had like 40 inventions before that done completely nothing. Yeah. And then it's interesting, and I've read some stories about him, and he's had loads of inventions since, and not really done that well. But it's interesting to think that these people do fail, and they just dust themselves down, and get on with it.
Yeah, and that's the attitude you've got to have. If a boxer stopped after the first punch, what the hell? They wouldn't, and the first punch hurts, but you ask a boxer about the 1,000th punch that they've received. What do you think they say? Yeah. They ain't got a clue. They can't remember that 1,000th punch, can they? Because they're so accustomed to it. It's just normal. And I'm not saying go out and fail on purpose. Of course not. But just accept that it's part of the journey.
And I think that's sort of, as you go through businesses, you have your ups and downs, your highs and lows. Yeah. And obviously, hope you have more highs and lows. But when sometimes you do have the low, I think it does do you good. Because you think, what I do now is what's happened where we were 6 months ago? Why is the bank balance? Why have we done this? Why did somebody leave? Do you know what I mean? And I just sit there, and so it was a couple of days, and I think about, okay, well, we could have done this better, and I think it just gives you time to react instead of just thinking, whatever, just get on. That's what I say to people: you need to stop something to think. It does do you good, and so you might change the process, or you might bring something in, or you might do T-sheets or something. Just think, stop, because you'll be so slow at your invoicing or whatever it is. But it's the thing with failure. I think the hardest thing about it is admitting it. Yeah, because nobody wants to be a failure, do they?
Nope.
Nobody wants to be a failure. Yeah, and it's just something. You know, it's like you might say, okay, I messed up. I got it wrong. I priced the job wrong. I should have ordered materials earlier. You know what I mean? Or I was too busy thinking about X and trying to get home to watch the football and the telly, and I should have checked if it didn't have a leak or whatever it is. Yeah, and it's just coming to that realization that everybody can fail, and most people will do one day in business. One stage or another, it will happen. Yeah, and I just think I say embrace it, but don't be scared of it. Definitely.
Yeah,
I did go through a couple of Facebook posts last night. Some of them were really funny, and others were a little bit worrying. I thought, but that was a real good post by Francis.
It was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed reading through that. Yeah. Mine was the biggest fear I have is standing still.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah, I just don't want to look back in a year, 5 years, 10 years and think I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still the same person. I don't want to be the same person. I want to evolve. I want to grow. I want to expand, not just business wise, myself, I want to become a different person all the time. I want to, look for growth in every opportunity.
And it's good. Obviously, like when you've had your difficulties, like I said, when you get that sort of into that positive mindset, problems don't seem to come along that much. You've dealt with things along, but it takes a long time to get there. But some people can be born with it. That's why they succeed at a very young age or something like that. But it's just it's an interesting way, and I think it's good for people like us to be honest so people other can see, well, they have had issues, but look where they are now.
Yeah, because it's easy to sit on social media or look on or Google
and lord it up.
Google you and see your business and think, oh, look at Paul, he's doing really well. Do you know but it's not always like that, is it?
No.
Especially social media, it's just a highlight reel, isn't it? You know, it's not showing you the real game, no matter who you are.
No, definitely not. And it's like, I mean, social media can be your best friend and the worst enemy at times. You know what I mean? So it's and I'll be very careful I don't get involved in long conversations on social media anymore. Normally 1 or 2 replies, that'd be about our maximum. Then if anybody really wants something, I just send them my phone number and say, give me a call.
Yeah.
DM me or whatever, do you know what I mean? But when I help, because the actual reason I went on social media in the first place was it was to share my knowledge, really, and to help other engineers, because I was just see out there, I thought there wasn't really a vehicle for people who had problems or, you know, and then it just things sort of grow, don't they? I think I went on there about 2013, I think, or something. I went on there, and then literally I just started putting some jobs out, and it just went literally absolutely crazy. I sort of gained like 1,000 followers in about 6 months or something. Like, it was a bit mental, I've got to say. Very surprising, I've got to say. But I kind of think, and you can use social media, and that's why I try and, like, if anybody really gives me good service and there's a new product, I don't know if I get paid for any of them posts I do. People think I get paid. I do them all for free.
Yeah.
People say, I might say, somebody offered me quite a lot of money to go and do like 5 Instagram videos. Yeah. With me for like a good couple of grand. So, well, I don't really like the product, so I ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
I know some people just go and do it, won't they, for the money? But, well, one, I'm not that desperate for the money, and 2, I don't want to sell my soul. Like, something I've really, really believed in. I've probably just done it and help people, especially see people with a new product. So I'd love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Innovation and like, I mean, I'm going to give an example. Like Simon from Blue Shoe, right? I mean, it came a great little invention, like just to help him out and see him grow, and it's just brilliant. And what's it took? A couple of posts of me, and go and stand in my store, install it like for a couple of minutes, and like talk to some people. Ain't nothing, is it?
No, exactly. But you hit the nail on the head, though. With the first bit is that you've got to believe in the product.
Yes,
that's fundamental, isn't it? Because otherwise you're just selling, aren't you? You're just I'm the same. I'd only put my face and my name to something that I believe is a good product, can help people, or save them time and money.
Yeah. And it just really makes life a bit easier, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I say nobody's too important to be nice, do you know what I mean? Like, and I see like some people, their behaviour can be absolutely horrendous. And I was thinking, like, this is like linked to your business account. So I thought, like, your customers could go onto your social media, Instagram or Twitter, or whatever it is, and see that you're using like language like that, like getting involved in. But why would you do that in your business account? It just absolutely amazes me at like what some people will do. And they just like, have a laugh, use it for good, isn't it? Like, and there is no need for it at all. Yeah, but like some people, I don't know, is it jealousy or whatever it is? But I just can't really. Why would you try and assassinate somebody over a difference of opinion? Sometimes it can be, can't it?
Yeah. It can be a very bitter, wild west place, can't it? Sometimes, but
and then look at you guys are doing here, and also we're going to push this out stage. I mean, it's going to be great, isn't it? So, like, and it's like a real positive thing.
Yeah, everything we're trying to do is to hopefully positively impact the people that need it most. Yeah, which is small trades business owners. I've got to say, I'm really looking forward to it. So am I. I've got access obviously to the videos, and I'm not. I was gonna be strict and not watch any of the other ones because obviously I'm hosting some, Francis are hosting the other. But I have had a sneak look at a few of them, and I cannot wait. Literally, cannot wait for it to be launched and for it to just get out to the people that are going to watch it. And obviously, we're raising money for Help for Heroes, which again is a fantastic cause. So I'm a firm believer in any relationship, business, life, whatever. There has to be equal wins, and Help for Heroes wins because we're raising money for them. Mm-hmm. The speakers that we've got and the people involved, get some good exposure, so they win.
Raise your profile, isn't it?
Yeah, and then more importantly, the people that are going to be watching, are going to get tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of world-class advice, guidance, and mentoring. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We're coming up towards the hour, Paul. So is there anything that we haven't touched on that you wanted to discuss, or are you happy to end this shortly?
I think we're there, actually, too much. What I'd just like to say is, again, thanks to you guys for giving me this opportunity to be a little part of this great growth summit for Help the Heroes. It's been absolutely blown me away to be honest, like to be asked to do it, I've got to say. And I don't know, I always say is, I just want to talk a little bit about my dyslexia, if I can, is I was a kid at school that was just sit in the corner and was scared, like, to write something down because people, like teachers, would criticise me and call me thick and all that sort of stuff. I'd never want anybody ever to suffer in science like I did for those years. So if you have dyslexia, go and tell somebody. There's lots of stuff and tools and that out there. But you'd be surprised, the amount of high achievers, because if dyslexic people can think outside the box. And I really encourage, especially in the engineering world, employers to look for people, because what we offer is something completely different to the table, And it just obviously, I've got to do part of the Dyslexic Engineering Day a couple of weeks ago, which is absolutely amazing. And the amount of response I had from people coming to me and sort of say, "Yeah, Paul, I'm actually dyslexic as well." And I said, "I don't want to talk about it because my wife doesn't know." I go, "Well, she probably does, mate, right? But you haven't said it. So just go home and say it, like." And it's just amazing, like, and it's all. It just seems to be. I think in our industry, I mean, they read it's 30%, of dyslexic people in the national average. I reckon we could be up to over 50% in our industry, mate. I really believe that.
You reckon? Yeah, you reckon it's that high?
Yeah, I really do, because there has been no study done about it. And I would really like to know, trying how we actually find it out. But I reckon it is that high. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I don't think really many people wake up in the morning when they're about 14 and go, "Yeah, I want to be a plumber." So on the hottest day of the year, I'm in a loft. And the coldest day of the year, I'm in a ditch in the snow outside, do they? It's not something most people want to do, is it? So, and again, I'd like to encourage the schools to think about more about apprenticeships and practical out there, because university is not for everybody. I think there's now a 4-year apprenticeship for plumbing and heating technician. That's what a new apprenticeship is called. And I think it's a real worth opportunity. You've got to say, all for a lockdown and whatever way, I was working. Yeah. So I think
people are always going to need water. People are always going to need heating. People are always going to need sanitary, waste, aren't they?
Yeah. So I think it's a very, very undervalued industry at the moment. But hopefully, with our little inputs, we're going to keep chipping away and pushing it forwards.
Lovely. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed hearing from Paul. Anyone that wants to know a little bit more about Paul, if you look around this video below or to the side, depends on what device you're on, you'll see there's links to his website, links to his socials. So make sure you go and check Paul out. Thank you, Paul. I'm going to end the interview there. So keep an eye out for the next episode, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the day so far. I really hope you enjoyed the show. I just wanted to pull it out there for anyone listening that I offer business coaching, but also life coaching. My life is centered around something called the 3 Bs, which stands for body, business, and balance. When you work with me as a coach, we tackle all 3 aspects of life. So you as an individual, body, mindset, health, fitness, knowledge, education. Business B obviously stands for your business, improving, maximizing opportunities, elevating, making more money. And balance stands for your friends, family, loved ones, making time for everything in your life. And the 3 Bs is the core element to that. If you'd like to learn more, I would ask you to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you might be consuming my information. Or you can email me directly at wayne@offthetools.co.uk. I'm here waiting to assist you to elevate across all aspects of life. Have a good one. No excuses. Let's go.